sometimes, even as a broadcaster, there's nothing to say. And yes, that was a homer call. It was. But you know what? Giants fans felt the exact same way. I know Joe felt that way. I know Carter felt that way. I know Sam felt that way. And all the people listening right now that are Giants fans, let's talk about it. 888-957-9570. Joe, good morning to you and all the lovely people just getting off work, getting ready for school, getting ready to do whatever. Maybe you couldn't fall asleep after that game last night. 5-3 the final. D-backs walk it off after having a 3-1 lead heading into the ninth inning. You felt good about it. You felt like, okay, we're finally going to get off the schneid here. Let's even up the series. Maybe we could win the rubber match tomorrow. And then it all went haywire. You get a single after, Del Castillo, 3-2. Okay, game's still not over. Then you get the catcher's interference call. They try to challenge it. It was upheld. And then a moonshot from Ketel Marte. Night, see you later. And they're back to 9 games under 500, Joe, which ties their lowest total, I should say, of losses or games under 500. You were waving the white flag. Where's that little hanky?
I give up. I give up. I don't know what to even say at this point. Like, I don't even know if it's worth getting emotionally invested. I always do. I sucker myself in. And last night, to start off the ninth, after an incredible double play to end the eighth, you're thinking they might get some mojo here. In a day where Devers went moonshot yard, where Adames looked good defensively and offensively. Yeah. On a day where I still don't understand what you're doing with Will Brennan. On a day where I look at your roster and you have 3 catchers and 4 bullpen guys who are left-handed. The roster construction is bizarre, and that's an understatement. Drew Gilbert, I like him in left field defensively. He can't hit right now. They're at least an outfielder short. I love Susak's bat, but he has the catcher's interference, which you alluded to, which he's not the first one. We did our research. Bailey had a couple last year, the year before, had one this year. I mean, they've had a lot of issues defensively catching, whether it's throwing runners out, holding runners on, defensive interference in that situation. I actually thought Killian threw a great pitch on 0-2 after, a couple fouls by Vargas to lead off the inning. He threw one that was like a couple of inches off the dirt.
I know.
And the guy takes the 9-iron and yanks it down the line. And you got 2 outs with a runner at first. Guy takes second. And there's a single up the middle. It's like, oh my God. And then you got the 9-hitter. Waldschmidt coming up.
Who's been really good this series.
You start 0-1 with him. And then you have the catcher's interference. So he goes to first, runner goes to second. And Marte gets flipped around. You take out Killian and you go to Gage. And then you flip Marte around, who historically hits better right-handed than left-handed.
Yes.
Yeah, I know this year it's not as prolific, but I think you ask anyone in the NL West, you'd probably want Marte to bat left-handed, not right-handed.
We've seen a lot of this guy for a very long time.
Preferably you'd get Waldschmidt out and you wouldn't have to face Marte, but that wasn't going to happen. And then he challenges the first pitch from Gage, which they got called a strike, then it gets overturned to a ball, and then he just hits an absolute moonshot. And at that point, Joe, I went like this.
It wasn't even a bad pitch.
No, it was. Because it was 700 feet up into the stands. What are you talking about?
You watched the replay, Joe. It was like a foot above the plate.
Marte.
It was so low, and he yanked that thing out of there.
Marte's a bad ball hitter.
Well, that's, again, you just said it right there. It was a bad pitch to hit out, and yet he was able to do it. When it rains, it pours for the Giants. But you know what? Bad teams, that happens to. No, it just does.
They're not bad. They're fucking awful. Excuse my language.
You almost just dropped the F-bomb there.
Like Joe.
They're a game better than the Colorado Rockies, who are a National League worst 19-30. Say that one more time. They're a game above the Colorado Rockies for the worst record in the National League. And overall in baseball, they're 4th worst. You got the Astros there. Wow. And then the Los Angeles Angels. Says all you need to know.
No, what all I need to know is that like my manager is ready to cry in the post-game show. Like he feels so down bad about the whole situation. It's just what can go wrong will go wrong for this team. And I was rooting for them. I thought they were going to have a way better year. Nothing has materialized the way I wanted to. Even on days where you feel optimistic about their offense a little, like they go and blow that game. And it's like, Well, if I hear another person tell me that Trevor McDonald, we just might not have room for Trevor McDonald. We just don't have room for Bryce Eldridge. We got to get Will Brennan in the lineup. Hey, we need 3 catchers. At one point, we're going to play all the catchers in the outfield, not at the catching position, in the outfield. We might even DH a pitcher as a hitter, okay? That's how poorly constructed this team is right now. Buster, I thought you knew baseball. I love you, buddy. You're making it hard to defend you right now.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Because I don't even know what else to say.
We had Justice De Los Santos on yesterday, Joe, on our show. Obviously covers the Giants. When a beat reporter does a hell of a job for the San Jose Mercury News, for the East Bay Times, Bay Area News Group, and he had a sit down with Buster. And I came away reading that article do they know what they're doing? No, seriously. And I don't say that lightly. I was like, this is a baseball lifer. This is a future Hall of Famer. We knew he was going to be raw, and he surrounded himself when he got the position as president of baseball operations with guys that are very smart, very tapped in. Zach Manassian, obviously, with a lot of experience, and he's leaning on those guys, and he said as such. But the Bryce Eldridge, call up has been befuddling, to say the least. They don't know what he's doing, and they use things like, hey, you got to be a team player first, and we're preaching be a team player, and yeah, we know it's hard if you don't get consistent at-bats, and we understand that. I was like, well, if you understand that, then send him down to AAA because he's not getting consistent at-bats at the big league level, because you're doing it for guys like Will Brennan, like you said, Joe, and you're throwing him out there against guys like Yoshi Yamamoto. What are we doing? So he's good enough to go up against one of the best pitchers in baseball, but he's not good enough to go up against Ryan Nelson, who has like a 5 ERA heading into this matchup. I don't know. And you know what? You like to say this. Poor Landon Ruppe. What a pitching performance he had yesterday. 6 innings, 7 hits, just 1 earned run, 3 Ks. He's been fantastic for this team that's desperately needed it. You get that performance from him, and you squander it. You squander it. And it was a night of comebacks and collapses yesterday. We were all watching the game, or actually, maybe we all turned off that Knicks game and put on the Giants and D-backs here in the Bay Area.
I didn't even watch
Exactly. You didn't, because it was a 22-point blowout with 7 minutes to go in the fourth, and the Cavs blew it, and then you turn on the Giants, and then they blow it in the ninth. My goodness.
Chapman, Devers, and Adames. You have 3 guys in the top 32 of strikeouts in baseball.
Say that one more time.
Chapman, Devers, and Adames. You have 3 guys in the top 32 of strikeouts in baseball.
Jesus.
And if Ramos was still healthy, you might have a 4th inside 40. Of all of baseball, you don't have one guy in the top 75 of home runs.
Their on-base percentage, Joe?
Think about what I just said. There are 2.5 guys on every team who have more home runs than the guy who's leading the Giants.
I'm looking at their total strikeouts. This actually is not bad.
Because you know why? Because Arise
because of
and
those guys.
Susak and some of these guys don't strike out.
They're the 8th best. They have 386, which is, again,
we're
the
8th best.
Yeah.
We're 8th best.
They have like the 7th most hits in the whole MLB, too.
Again, I give Ramos credit. Ramos has a lot of hits, a lot of singles, and Arise does as well.
164 RBIs.
They opened the game out. If you want to talk about where the Giants have been, watch the Corbin Carroll play in the first inning, and you watch how fast and how hard that guy's been running.
Speed.
And then that throw from Arise hits him in the helmet, and he ends up scoring on it. And this is an unfortunate play. But it was a small microcosm of everything we're not and everything that we are, short on. The last time the Giants, like a true one, not the one off the wall that ricocheted and bounced, and, I'm talking about the Pat Bailey one, which was, not trying to say freaky, but, Corbin Carroll is extremely athletic.
Yes.
The last time I can feel wow, look how athletic we are. Look at our guy running around. Angel Pagan was that Memorial Day or 4th of July Day 15 years ago? How many years ago was that?
That was sad. That's sad if you have to go all the way 15 years ago.
Quad or whatever on that play. That's the last time I've been excited about base running on the Giants.
They have 12 stolen bases, which is dead last. 12. You know who's number 1? It's like quadrupling them is the Miami Marlins with 60.
Well, last night's a great example. Do you know what they did? You know what they did to set up that catcher's interference? Attempt to steal a base. Wow. Oh my God. Wait a minute. They went pinch runner, okay? Or we go pinch runner and we're going to try to steal second.
They tried.
You can do that? Did you Buster, did you know you can try to steal a base? It would require you to have some guys that can actually move.
Vitello did have a point. It's like, come on, man.
I don't know what you guys want from me. Like I can't even huff and puff anymore. They're not worth it. Will Brennan, what are we doing? No, like legitimately, what are we doing?
I think that's what Giants fans are waking up thinking about this morning. And we have Dave Fleming joining us today. We join him every single week, 8:20, voice of the Giants. And the guy's very tapped in. And that's kind of what I want to ask him. Like, what is the direction for this team going forward? No, seriously, I don't know. Do they know what the direction is?
I've come to this conclusion. Okay. Zach, Gerald, I'm talking to Buster.
Oh, okay.
You have one of two options. Technically three. You either are going to play Bryce Eldridge. You are either going to trade Bryce Eldridge, or you're going to drop him to AAA and eventually figure out what you're going to do with him. We cannot continue doing what we're doing. It's just, it's driving everyone insane, and I don't think it's helping the young man's development at all. Now, what would I like him to do? I would like him to do what Daniel Susac has done, which is hit and hit and hit and earn your way into the lineup. And then now I'm at the point now where I go, every time Susac is not catching, I want to know why.
Yeah.
Why do we have three catchers?
For their defensive their defensive prowess. So because some of them can play in the field, Joe. No, but I'm with you on that. It's befuddling what they're doing with the young development. It's befuddling what they're doing right now when it comes to the bullpen. Again, we haven't even really brought that up. They didn't address this bullpen at all.
They traded away Tyler Rogers. They traded away Camilo Duvall. A week later.
You knew Jesus Rodriguez was out for the year. Tommy John.
Randy.
Right. Sorry.
No,
what did I say?
A
Jesus.
week later,
Randy Rodriguez,
he tore his UCL.
Yep.
Okay. A week later. So you've known since basically August or so of last year, you needed multiple bullpen arms. And your whole idea was, trust me, bro.
Don't worry. We know we have this new manager that's never coached in the big leagues before and making the jump and has to, wheel and deal with his bullpen. But I have trust that Tony's going to figure it out.
This is stupid.
There's no experience. Hey, Tony, here's a box of nails. Go ahead and build the Sistine Chapel.
Look, the eighth inning, he goes to Killian. They get the double play. Willie made a great play. I mean, it's just a great play. They turn two. And I'm thinking, dude, what a great call to go to Killian right there. They finish the eighth. He's going to start the ninth. Yep. I like it. There's 2 outs with a runner on first. You're up 2 runs. You should win that game.
Yes.
You should win that game. And the wheels fell off. Now, I can't defend him. I want to. I love Tony Vitello in the sense of I just feel like we've been taking a dump on this guy. And it's like, dude, these high-priced dudes are stinking it up, and the roster's not great. Again, they're at least 1 outfielder short. I could make the argument they're 2 outfielders short right now. You have 4 lefties in the bullpen who can't get anyone out. And Joe, you cannot defend making Marte go to the right side and going to Gage there. Killian only had 25 pitches in there. I thought Killian was fine. I would have stuck with him. I would have forced Marte to bat left-handed. I don't care what his recent trend is. Everyone knows you don't want Marte to bat righty.
No. He's also clutch as hell. He's been clutch against the Giants for years and years and years. I remember having this guy in fantasy baseball, feels like 10 years ago. He's been in the league forever. And then if you don't get him out, you got Corbin Carroll right behind him. It was just a mess yesterday. And I can't
defend Vitello, Joe.
You can't defend anyone right now.
I'm not going to defend that last decision. I can't defend. I do think it was a great decision to go to Killian in the bottom of the 8th. I mean, Eric Miller's leaking oil left and right. I mean,
that's a game you needed. It's a game, again, you get a performance like that from Landon Ruppe when you got Tyler Mahle on the mound today in the final game to avoid getting swept. You're facing a White Sox team that's red hot coming into San Francisco. I know it sounds insane. No, the White Sox have a brighter future than you right now, Giants fans. Friday, they start a 3-game set there. And then what do you know? The D-backs are back in town starting next Monday. Yeah, it's not looking good right now. And you know what? You were waving the white flag. I think a lot of Giants fans, they're texted in. They're pissed off. It says 925, until the Giants can get it together, I'm a Knicks fan all the way now. Bing bong, let's go. 808. Every day that goes by, this is turning into a Kuminga situation for Bryce Eldridge.
Okay, so someone's saying it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You brought me to a point. I'm tired of the Kuminga talk.
Sure.
I am.
But
I'm going to throw you an analogy on the other side that I was thinking about yesterday about this Bryce situation, and I learned a lesson throughout it. And I will say this. Wiggins, who I'm going to reference, did more for this team locally than any of these other guys did. And I just, how can you defend what we're watching? Like, I waved the tissue here. I'm waving the white flag. I'm out. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. They have to move. Oh, God.
we got a crisis. Eldridge crisis?